Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan, and in this video we're going to be doing our AFC East division predictions. It's going to be an interesting video because there's a lot of different opinions about this division. Some people think it's Buffalo's turn to take control, some people think the Patriots still have it, but then some people think that those other two teams, Miami and New York, could also make some noise, so certainly going to be an interesting one. Let's get started.
Alright, so are we doing a different format?
No, we'll talk about all the teams first, and then we'll go through our predictions by just saying first this team, second this team. But we're doing analysis before, so we don't do that. Okay, well, me and Ryan will just talk about it, and then you can do your own analysis, I guess. Okay. And you can butt in on this too. But let's start talking about this division instead of arguing now.
Let's just go down here.
Big news also that we should mention within this division, Jamal Adams is no longer here. Traded to the Seahawks. So we want to make that clear before we start, in case you didn't know that. That is big for that team. And while we're talking about the Jets, we can talk about their team in general, with Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. Obviously, Sam Darnold being at the quarterback position, the young quarterback. That's
my guy Denzel Mims.
Yeah, that's kind of a theme in this division is the young quarterback.
I like Denzel Mims.
Yes, Denzel Mims as well.
He's good.
And you go to defense, and Quinnen Williams is still there. Don't forget about him. He was drafted early for a reason. Just didn't show up for whatever reason his rookie year. Watch out for that. This team could be a little better than you may expect this year.
Get up here.
We'll talk about how good we think they will be later. So you guys can add on what you have to say about them. No other things to say about the Jets?
Well, I think that they are kind of in rebuild mode. You know, especially I think that's what that trade signifies. Yeah.
Speaking of rebuild mode, the Dolphins were kind of they were kind of in that before, and I mean
they were tanking for Tua.
They're going to be a lot better.
They ended up not even tanking and still got Tua. So.
If you can't tank right, that's I guess a good sign, and you still get the guy you were supposedly tanking for.
Yeah. Once again, another young quarterback with Tua Tagovailoa at the helm at the quarterback position. The offense continuing to get better and better as time goes on, and Brian Flores leading the defense. This team could be another surprising team to look out for. And maybe not, the Jets might be at the bottom. I feel like we're all going to have that there. Might be a spoiler, I'm not sure. But the Dolphins, although we might end up putting them at 3 or whatever it is, have a chance to surprise us all and do something great.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to refrain myself. So.
Oh, yeah. Just hold it in.
All right, well, I guess I can just debrief on these teams if we want. So,
go for it.
What should I talk about first? The Bills?
Talk about New England first.
I'll talk about New England first. And that's what I'm going to do. Cam Newton going to be the quarterback there, it seems like. Also have Jarrett Stidham, so another young quarterback in this division. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the big thing we're talking about is Cam Newton being there. It's going to be interesting to see his dynamic with Bill Belichick. Is that going to work? Is it not? They have a lot of good players, not really highly known players, but enough to consistently do that. And though Tom Brady's not there anymore, don't forget what Bill Belichick can do. I don't doubt him yet. You'll probably see that later on this video. I still think there's a lot left in Bill Belichick. And Josh McDaniels on the offensive side as well. So another threat of a team in the AFC East. And the last threat that we could talk about is the Buffalo Bills, which I'm going to let Ryan do because I know he would love to talk about this team.
TB12 is nothing.
I don't know what's going on the left side of the table.
I'm reading Bill Belichick.
Yes, I'm glad that you...
I had a dream where I met Bill Belichick.
Okay. I had a dream that I met Baker Mayfield before he got drafted a couple years ago. But anywho...
Maybe I did.
Anyway, we can talk about dreams if you want, but that's not what this is. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm not doing that. But... Yes,
like 142.
The Bills, yeah. I'm on the Buffalo hype train. I am really excited about Josh Allen and this team. I love the move they made for Stephon Diggs. I think that they truly needed a true number 1 wide receiver, and they got one.
I think they had one already, in my opinion. John Brown. I like John Brown.
Well, I think Diggs is definitely an upgrade, and I think he's a top 10 receiver in this game right now. And I think they do have some other nice veterans like Cole Beasley and Brown, as you mentioned. So now I think the receiving core went from solid to really good. So I think it's definitely an upgrade. The offensive line is solid. They've got a nice group of running backs. You got Devin Singletary. I just recalling the Texans-Bills playoff game. He was great in that game, even though they lost.
He was great all season.
I'm going to sound like Jordan, but I did have him on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
And I really did like to see what he was doing, although it wasn't huge fantasy numbers. His stats were consistently at least
good
high number.
Yeah, impressive stats from him. But yeah, he's a nice young running back. He's elusive. He can break tackles. And they also got Zach Moss out of Utah in the draft this year, so they'll have a interesting young running back tandem this year. And defensively, I feel like they've always kind of been sneaky good defensely for the past few years, but I think this year the offense will finally catch up and this team's going to have a great year.
Got to cut in.
I'm done.
I have my Singletary stats up. He had blah blah. So I was talking about his yards per carry. Jeez, that was bad speaking. And yards per attempt is 5.1, which is very good average.
Okay.
If you get 5.1 yards per attempt, that means you're getting first downs at the first downs. If you're getting the ball every time, that's not what happens.
And
it's 5.1.
There's your daily stats from Jordan. We could start making that a tradition where he just reads off people's stats and tells us how good or bad their stats are.
His yards per target was a 4.7.
Oh wow, 4.7.
That's pretty good. But now that Jordan's kind of butted in, usually what we tell him to do, what we discuss doing, is let's just talk about all these teams and have a formal discussion. And then it turns into Jordan just taking over and talking about the teams.
I was right.
So we're just gonna
Jordan is taking over.
So that's why we did that quick debrief. Quick debrief. Sorry about that. But Jordan is now going to go. So Jordan, you up once you're done laughing.
So, am I giving my rankings now? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
give us your rankings. Yeah.
Okay.
Ranking.
We start at
I
number
apologize.
4 in the division.
Number 4.
Tyler kind of called it earlier. It is going to be, in my opinion, the New York Jets, who went 7-9 last year. I think they're going to do worse than that this year. They lost Jamal Adams. So I think they're going to finish last in the division. Now, honestly, I think Sam Darnold's an okay quarterback, but apparently he's seeing ghosts out there sometimes. I just wasn't very, very confident in what I saw from him out in the field last year. I think he'll do okay, but I haven't seen enough to really get me any hype. Le'Veon Bell, okay, he's good. I follow him on Instagram. He's putting all these hype videos out there. He thinks that he's really underestimated. I think he's a good running back, but last year I just didn't see it from him. Maybe he'll do it better this year, but he was really nowhere to be found last year, honestly. And then on this team, there's not much else there, to be completely honest. We did talk about the wide receiver they got before, Denzel Mims.
My guy Denzel Mims. Give me my guy Denzel Mims.
I think he was at 5 or 6 in my wide receiver rankings. I think he's going to be really good for them. He'll be a nice diamond in the rough for them, I think. But I don't think this is their year yet. I think their offense might be all right. Quinn Williams will do better, but I just think that they need some more additions, and they'll get those additions with the picks from the Jamal Adams trade. So they finish at 4, in my opinion. Now let's move up. Trade.
Up. Can't go down from 4.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you could not in the division.
Okay. So we go to spot number 3, and this spot is held by the team that previously held number 4 last year. That is the Miami Dolphins, who ended up going 5-11 last year. I think they're going to do better than 5-11. And honestly, I have high hopes for this team. But you might be saying, "Whoa, Jordan, hold on! You just said you had high hopes for this team, but you're putting them at 3." Yeah, that's the truth. Because I think the decision will be all right. Now, high hopes does not mean over 10 wins. Who knows? They could do it. They could surprise us. It is a song. Tyler, the project on that song.
How do you know that?
I actually remember things unlike you.
I did a Spanish project. Laurent Duvernay Tardif was part of my Spanish project once.
Who?
Laurent Duvernay Tardif, the lineman for the Chiefs,
Yeah.
who opted out because of COVID, by the way. But he's also a doctor.
I was going to say.
So, anyways, I actually remember stuff unlike Tyler.
Well, I remember important stuff.
Me too. Me too.
Well,
Jordan, let's
I remember important stuff too.
Anyways, so back to the Dolphins. I think they'll do pretty good. We did a video on them. I don't remember exactly the record that I said, but I think they'll go around 8-8, maybe 9-7 this year. I think they'll do pretty good. I like their team. I love Tua. I like the running backs that they have acquired on this team. That should be fun to watch. I think Jordan Howard's going to be great. I like their wide receiving core. Devontae Parker's going to be really good. And their defense is getting better. Added a bunch of free agents.
Yes.
And they also had some existing
former
pieces
Patriots
before.
Yeah.
The Patriots are on that team now.
Yeah. They can only go there or Detroit. That's only where you're allowed to go.
That's true. And who is the head coach there? Brian Flores, who was a defensive
Flo.
coordinator.
And Matt
with
Patricia
the
with the Lions.
And Matt Patricia, who was a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So they really just like to pull in their old players. You know, they can't get over them.
Yeah.
They're guys. Yeah.
They can't get over them.
Okay, let's keep going.
So I think I love this team. I think they have a shot to do stuff great this year. They showed some really good things last year in a season where they finished 5-11, but really they were better than that record. Of
Yeah,
5-11,
they were projected to
I
win
I mean,
maybe one game,
yeah.
if that.
I mean, towards the end of the season, especially what we saw them do in Week
They
17
beat
against
the
the Patriots.
That was crazy.
And that was crazy. And the Patriots
Remember,
did
it was
not try
on
to
a boat.
lose that game. They needed to win that
I
game,
was
and the
in
Dolphins just
Wisconsin.
overpowered them.
So now
And it wasn't even in Miami, right? That was
No,
not,
it was in
it was
the
in New
Patriots.
England.
Yeah.
It was in
And
the
then the
Patriots.
Chiefs got a first round bye, and the rest is history.
Which is history. Okay, now to number 2 in this division. Patriots and the Bills are left on the board, and I'm going with the Patriots to take the number 2. Oh God, I said it number 1. Number 2, and that's switching the
That's not
1.
the biggest
1
game
is for the
today.
Bills.
Yeah.
2 is the Patriots. I think they'll take the 2 spot. I think about by a slim margin away from the Dolphins. I think they'll be just ahead of the Dolphins in this division. I've always been a Patriots advocate. I've always been someone who has respected Tom Brady a lot. Obviously, I'm not stupid. I know he's gone. It's just so you know. But
Yeah, he
I've
kinda
always been
left
someone
a
who's
couple
respected the
months ago, yeah.
Patriots dynasty, even when so many other people hated it. I've been a respecter of it. I've been a believer of it, and
Yes.
I have predicted them to win Super Bowls before.
Me too, and I've got them right sometimes.
Yeah, there you go.
Not all the time.
So I'm still a believer in this team, but there's so many questions right now.
Yeah, we got
Tom
more
Brady is
questions.
gone, and I believe in Bill Belichick, like Tyler said. But I need to see this quarterback situation play out. I need to see just how this whole dynamic of this team is going to work. Because they had some losses, and their draft was definitely an interesting draft.
Yes.
To say the least. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. The quarterback position is definitely a big question mark. Teams like Cam's going to get the start, but Stidham and Hoyer are obviously going to be fighting for their spots as well. So there's just too many question marks on this team right now for me to put them at the one spot. And now, speaking of the one spot, it is the Bills. And you know what? I'm going to be nice, okay? Ryan, I'm not going to say anything about the Bills.
You're
Please,
not?
thank God.
Because I know you like them. So I'll let you explain it for me. So go
All right.
ahead right now.
So you want me to
Explain
talk?
why you had them at 1.
Okay, I'll talk about them for you. And I just think that this is finally the time where someone else takes the AFC East crown. You know, I believe in Josh Allen, as I kind of talked about a lot of this earlier. I love their
You almost
receiving
named
corps.
them MVP.
I thought about it. He's definitely going to be in the mix there, you know. He's going to do some great things. He's got a cannon of an arm. Just got to work on the accuracy
Who's
a
got
little
better
bit.
on him or Holmes?
You talking about accuracy or like throwing it straight
farther.
Far
Arm
Allen,
strength.
far Allen accuracy, obviously Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's actually an interesting question. Glad you asked. And then you look at that team, you know the playmakers they have. Defensively, they got some nice veterans on there. I like Sean McDermott as a coach. And there were times last year where you were watching them and you were like, man, this team is solid, but they still might be a year away. You know, they played New England tough twice last year. They played Baltimore tough. They lost all those games. They lost to the Texans in the playoff game. But there were times where you watched that team and you were like, man, this team's close, and I think they were close then, and I think they're there now, and I think this team is definitely going to win the AFC East, and I think they might do a little more than that later. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I think that the future is bright in Buffalo, and I'm glad that me and Jordan agree with having them at 1.
And their defense is basically the same as it was last year.
Yeah,
That was a
they've
phenomenal
always had a good defense. I feel like for the past few years, and it's really going to notice, and now the offense is catching up.
Yeah, and then exactly the offense is catching up. They obviously got Stephon Diggs. I love John Brown. I love the wide receiving core and Singletary and Josh Allen. So it should be a fun team to watch.
And Dawson Knox, a tight end.
And Dawson Knox, a tight end, of course. How could I forget about Dawson? Awesome Dawson. So Ryan,
I think you might have tried a bit too hard on that one.
Awesome Dawson. It's not that bad. It's like Awesome Blossom
So should I give my
from The Office.
Yeah, do your 4, 3, and 2.
4, 3,
Because
my
you
4,
already
3,
won.
and 2?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to spend too much time on this first one. At number 4, I do also have the New York Jets finishing last in this division. They got some nice players, but I think they're in rebuild mode. You know, the Jamal Adams trade kind of signifies that. There's some questions about Adam Gase. Is he truly the right coach for that team to lead them to long-term success? Debatable. Sam Darnold has potential, but, you know, Denzel Mims is nice, but he's like their number 1 receiver right now, and he's
very nice.
He's a second-round pick, and
I
he has
love
not
Denzel
played
Mims.
down. You know, I like my Denzel
he's very
Mims. You know,
nice.
I do, but I just think this
I think
team
he's
is not
very
quite
good.
there yet.
I liked his highlights.
Okay, yeah, he's got potential, but
Not highlights. I like this film. I didn't
Okay.
just watch highlights. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, don't do that.
I like
That's
his
a very bad way to watch films.
All right, let's get to 3 and 2.
Yeah, let's get
'Cause
to
we got two more
yes.
people to
Let's get to
predict.
3. This is gonna be probably the biggest surprise
I
of
already know what it
the
is.
video. I think I'm hitting my leg on something down
Pats.
there. It is the New England Patriots dropping to 3rd, and
You have another 3 in the rankings?
I do have them at 3. I think that these two will be different very soon. I think 2 and 3 in the
Yeah.
rankings will be different very soon. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's what it's gonna happen.
I don't know about that.
I'd like to see it happen. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why it's gonna happen.
It's gonna be tough to happen though, because the
Let me-
circumstances are not gonna be great.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, none of the teams really like in positions to like drop or go up that much. I mean, it's
No,
kind of safe.
No, they definitely are.
I mean, they
guess.
Except for
can,
them.
but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be pretty consistent throughout the division.
yeah,
and
but
keep going.
I do think that the one that many people have at 2 is gonna be at 3 pretty soon. Mainly because of just the other talent in that area. You know, they've got tougher competition, you know, that team. And I think that there's just going to be some emergers in that division that just come and kind of steal the show. You know, you've talked about how I am on Buffalo. And then obviously, you know, because I already said Buffalo's going to win. I had the Jets at 4, the Patriots at 3. You already know I've got Miami at 2nd in that division. Talking about New England, I just think they've lost a lot of talent, and they definitely could make the playoffs. I just think they've lost a lot of talent. I think Buffalo's better. And really quick, I want to talk about Miami, why I have them at number 2. I think they'll go at number 2, and I think they'll make the playoffs. I just think that Tua is going to have a great year. And you're like, well, Ryan, you had Tua as your number 3 ranked quarterback in the pre-draft rankings. Yes, I did, but as far as this 1 year is concerned, I think Tua will probably have the most success of any rookie quarterback. Long term, yeah. But this year, if he can stay healthy, and they upgraded the offensive line a lot. I love Brian Flores as a coach.
And who knows if he's gonna play that much in the
I know,
season
but he
anyway,
will
so
get in there eventually.
I think so too.
And I think he's going to make an impact because
I
long
think
term,
he has a chance to start.
long term, I have my doubts, and that's why he was at 3 in my rankings. But I think that the one at 3 will be doing
So you have
very
your doubts
good.
about you have your doubts about 3.
No. I want the 3 to be like good.
Oh, okay.
And
So you want 2 to be good.
All right, let's
yeah.
just go to mine
Yeah.
really quickly before we continue to get lost in that. At number 4, I talked about all these teams already in the beginning. I have the Jets at 4. Reasons they talk about the loss of Jamal Adams is a big one as well, but a rebuilding team. In 3rd, I have the Dolphins. I do like the direction their team is going, as we've really all said. I think they could have a chance at finding a playoff spot somehow, or at least getting close to
getting
it.
to that number 2
If
spot.
Tua plays, I think he'll perform well. I like the direction of that team. In 2nd, I have the Bills, so that is going to be a little bit different between me and Jordan.
We have not agreed on a division winner yet.
Yeah, we have not. But I do have the Bills going in 2nd.
Yeah, there's going to be a couple more we disagree with.
Just because it's the youth of the team, and I don't know if this year is going to be the year they surpass them, especially with Bill Belichick and the Patriots still being in that division. At number 1, the Patriots, I'm still giving them to the division again. If Cam Newton is healthy, I think he's a better quarterback than Tom Brady is in terms of right now. I don't think that when we saw Cam Newton healthy, he's better than Tom Brady was last year. Personally, I don't think Tom Brady was a top 10 quarterback last year. You guys can disagree with me.
No.
I had him
not
around
last year.
15 in the NFL when I did my quarterback rankings.
I'd probably be in between 10 and 15. Not
So,
yeah, no.
but I just didn't think that loss was that overwhelming for them. I still like the direction of this team, and I'm going to give it to the division to them, but it's going to be close.
Okay.
Between really the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Patriots.
Yeah, and really quick, if they did not sign Cam, would you still pick them? Or,
I don't know. I would have been a lot closer. I'll say that.
Okay.
I might have picked the Bills, honestly. We have one more surprise picker.
Alright, so we're gonna need to hear the first who this person thinks is gonna win the division. So let me just call him real quick.
Jack!
Where is it?
Who's gonna say?
Surprise.
What the?
Surprise.
He was under the table the
All
whole
right,
video,
Jack,
guys.
who do you have number 4 in this
That's why I was
division?
Alright, number 4.
That's
I
why I
have
was
the
under
Jets at number 4.
Okay.
They lost
You got him at 4.
Jamal Adams, I
Jets.
think.
Okay.
He was
That's him.
pretty good, I think.
Yeah, he was good.
You think?
He
Yeah.
still is good.
Number 3?
3, Dolphins.
Number 3,
Okay.
the Dolphins.
They're pretty good. Not that good.
All right, number 2?
Expert analysis, they're pretty good.
Not that good.
Not that good though.
Number 2?
Not that good.
Not that good.
Number 2. The Bills, because
Okay.
yeah, the Bills.
Looks like
Bills
we're
are
in agreement here,
Wait,
Here's
Jack.
the thing.
wait, what did you call the Bills before?
The Buffaloes.
Oh my god.
All right, let's skip past
Buffalo
that.
had two.
What's 1? Who's
Alright,
number 1 in the
one.
rankings?
Patriots. So here's what I'm thinking.
He's
Alright.
thinking, guys.
He's thinking.
Here's
him
what
out,
I'm
hear him
thinking,
out.
Alright? So they had Tom Brady and they also
They
had
did.
Gronk.
They
They got those. But they had a plan with that. But then they got Cam Newton, so
What
now
plan
they
did
have
Yeah, was it a
A
plan or
plan?
was it
Or
an
just an idea?
it was a plan.
Okay.
Okay.
And then
This
now,
is kinda like
now
a-
they have an idea, but they're gonna call it a remastered plan.
Oh,
Okay.
I
That would
like
be-
that.
That's definitely just.
That would be
Cam
creative,
Newton
but I don't
to,
know
like-
if it was.
So,
it
I have a
sounds like an
question.
idea to me.
Yeah.
If someone has a remastered plan, should they actually do something to make it happen instead of just like sitting there?
Yeah, because if
Exactly.
you make a plan, you gotta fulfill the plan. You can't just say, "Alright, we're gonna do this
Yes.
play." You gotta execute the play. You
Yes,
gotta work
execute
hard.
the play.
You gotta
Listen to
train.
this man.
You gotta.
Yeah, but sometimes I mean they don't. We could talk about this post video, but I mean you can keep talking about it now because we're already kind of extending this.
I mean, like sometimes you can miss the play, and like you gotta keep trying. You
And
know.
sometimes you got to be patient.
Sometimes
Have you
you
ever
sit
watched
on the
Star Wars?
sideline, but you gotta
They're
get it
constantly
eventually.
saying
Yeah.
patience,
I mean,
young Padawan. You know,
you
be
gotta
patient
you
with
gotta
it.
be patient, but like. If you're too patient, maybe then
I'm
you'll
hungry.
just
Does anyone
forget
have fruit
about the
snacks
play.
or something?
Yeah,
All right,
fruit snacks are pretty good.
Let's conclude this
You get
video.
those
So
chips from
there's
last
all
video
our
if you want.
division predictions. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel. Jordan, sit down.
Get out of here.
Subscribe to our channel with the notification bell.
I've been locked in
Comment-
the basement. It's been
comment-
13 weeks.
Comment your opinions about this division in the comments section down below. Who
broke
you think
the
is
mic,
gonna
so you
win?
can't hear me on this
And,
mic
um,
anymore.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, with that, we will see you guys later.
See ya.